Some gas coming.
No, I didn't.
And it says we are live. What's going on Facebook? What's the other one?
No.
YouTube.
Okay.
We go through this every Thursday. I was trying to make us a video, but I waited too long. I don't know what's wrong with the internet tonight, but it's just really stalled.
Wow. We are live on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm sharing it to the Better for Today page. If it'll let me. It's just moving really slow. Page. Better for Today. Switch. Yeah, this internet is really moving slow. Next. Share. I had to do this before. This is a lot. Leave. All right. One for here. One for here. Here. Leave. All right. Says we got 4 people watching. Whoever you are, wave, say hi, do something. This is my wife, my girlfriend.
Aww.
That's not the response I was looking for, but anyway. Hey, Mima.
Hey, Mommy.
Glad you enjoyed your gift. Moving the wrong thing. Let me move here. Danny Ross. Who is that, Combs? Is that your cousin?
That's my coworker, Danny. Hey.
Hey, Danny. So today, hold on. Let me get my bearings. I should have been better prepared. I say that every week, don't I?
You do.
Huh? Guess what? Gives me something to work for.
Strive for.
Yep. Trust me, it's a good show tonight. It's a good show. I just gotta
Tell your neighbor it's a good show.
I don't like that in church, so I'm not gonna do, I ain't gonna do that out here. This internet is just dragging today, man. I don't know why, but man, she moving slow.
Your brother's there. He says, yo, what's the deal? The Mayas. Hey.
What's up, C-Bonic?
I can't wait to have some place to go to wear it.
Who's that? Your mom?
Yeah.
We're around the house.
Danny, you could be a cousin. I'll accept you as my cousin.
She can accept anybody as a cousin.
That is not true.
You got a million cousins. What's the word I use? Once removed.
I've never used that.
I have no idea. Remove them from being your cousin. See, Bonnet. Getting it together. Getting it together. Trying to
get together.
Get this picture up right fast. So we lost a really big icon in our family today. My aunt, husband. What's that?
Say her real name.
Henrietta.
Okay.
Yeah, it's her name. What's wrong with you?
No, I thought you were going to call her
Mookie. That's her name. Her husband passed away today.
Yeah.
Mook, you already know. June was one of a kind, man. One of a kind. I put a picture up today. Let me see if I can find it. You knew June. Let's see if I can put this up. Trust me, we're gonna get to the show. Patience.
Somebody, J. Ran, something Mitchell. You see it?
No.
I don't see it.
See, tell me if you remember this. That was June right there, boy. June Mitch Mac sneakers all day. Mook, you got our condolences, man. Whatever we could do, hit me up. J.R. Mitchell. Who is that? J.R. Mitchell. We probably say this every week. Who are you? I just shared to a lot of family members. What'd you share, Mima?
Probably the page.
Oh, the page. All right. New comments. That's right. See, right here, June will have Mitch Mac sneakers on in a heartbeat. What was I going to talk about? Oh, next week. Oh, my page. Thanks, Memes. We are going to a marriage seminar in Maryland. Where's that?
Yes, Maryland.
There's a couple we know who does like these tremendous marriage seminars. All right, let me find that picture. Give me a second. This internet is just like...
Say it like Mason. It's glitchy.
I'm not Mason, so I'm not going to say it like Mason.
Yeah, y'all are saying.
I'm not going to say it like Mason. After I put this last picture up, then we're going to go straight to the show. Hey, the Mills is on. He's trying to steal my shine.
Oh, no.
Trying to find it. You know, when you're only looking for something, it's right there in your face.
In your face.
But when you're looking for it, there it goes. It's so hard to find. Mills. Well, y'all probably saying these people every week, the same nonsense. Yep. So this is they host a variety of marriage seminars. The name of their, I guess you would call it, what they do is called tailor-made. Tailor-made. I tell a lot of people all the time, I always use the analogy of your clothing. When your clothes get stale, you take them to the cleaners. When you going to do that for your marriage? We ain't just going to take it somewhere to get fresh, ironed out, get the wrinkles out. Remember when he had his cowboy hook on with that? Yo, that's when I was calling him P-I-M-P, pimp. Yeah, but that's what we talk about tonight. But I'm just, I don't know. Not these people. It's you, Sporty. Yeah. Go take your marriage and get it cleaned, freshened up every so often. You know, and stop waiting for your spouse to make a move. You make a move. All right. Anyway, tonight is communication. Why do we listen the way we do? One of the things that my wife and I have been working on. Give a hand clap of praise. Is listening.
Yes.
Listening is something that we're not taught. You just pick it up. And And then you get into a relationship, and a lot of people don't understand relationships are exposers. When you're single, you don't have to be accountable for nothing. When you get into a relationship, there are things that you did in your single life that will become exposed, and it's not something for you to get mad about. It's for something for you to work on, because now there's someone else in the picture that you have to be considerate of.
Right.
Some of us want to be single married. Can't do that. So I have a problem with listening. Most important, I have a problem with listening to women. And it goes far back to some traumatic situations I had as a kid. And now that I can choose not to listen, I don't. It's not a good thing, in particular with my marriage, because who else is better to tell you about yourself than your spouse? That don't mean they need to do it all the time, but who else is better to do it?
That was a bit aggressive.
It probably was. I know it was loud. So tonight we want to talk about why we listen the way we do. Some of us have no clue that we have a problem listening. Why? Because nobody ever tells us about it. And the person that tells us about it, we don't listen to.
You don't want to hear it from them.
Who are you going to hear from? If the person that's close to you cannot do things, who are you going to hear it from?
Right.
Because you're not around nobody that much for it to be really effective.
Right.
We were talking about this 2 weeks ago, but one thing I want to say, if there's any questions you guys have or anything that you guys are dealing with, don't be afraid to put it in the chat and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
We'll take whatever it is that we're talking about and we'll stick it to the side and we'll deal with. That's what happened. My cousin came on, my real cousin came on. And, and she was talking about, I think it was childhood trauma.
Yes.
Something she was dealing with as a kid. And so we just segued and went and dealt with that. If you want to come on the show, anybody besides CB can come on the show.
He speaks quite eloquently.
He does, but he ain't coming on that. But and I mean, you can almost like be a guest host. We're not going to question you or anything like that. You could just talk about your experiences.
Right.
But once again, tonight is about communicating. Why do you listen the way you do? So I'm going to pose a question to my wife. She's not ready for this. Do you think you have a difficult time listening?
Yes.
Praise the Lord. Hallelujah.
I think everybody does, especially if it's stuff you don't want to hear.
Have you figured out why it's hard to listen to certain people?
I will have to admit that it's a gauge system. With me, if you lie to me and I catch you lying, that you've lied to me, I have a hard time hearing anything you have to say.
That's what up, Reg? What would you love? You say I would love that. What would you love, Reg? But that's a good reason. I'm talking about. I want to say you don't have a good reason for not listening.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm trying to say is, how come it's easier for you to listen to some people and not for others outside of the lying? Outside of lying. You're talking very loud.
I am?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll tone it down.
Because some people sound very judgmental. Okay, that's your mom. That's her. Yeah.
I pose the question again. I had a blonde moment.
I don't know what that means. What does a blonde moment mean?
A blonde.
You saying blonde people
I
stupid?
just went blank. No, I didn't.
You said blonde people don't have a.
Said I went blank.
To come on your show. I'm gonna send you the link right now, Reg. We'll put the link in the Facebook chat.
So say the question again.
Okay, so the first question was, do you think you have a hard time listening? You said yes. And I said to you, why do you have such a hard time listening to people?
And I will have to admit that it's a gauge system. If I don't deem you relevant, if you're talking stuff repeatedly and I don't see any growth in your life, I'm really not going to listen.
What's up, Yaya? So this young lady, she's actually like a daughter to us. I hate the word like. But I don't want Miss Shirley coming at me. So Yaya has an ebook that I purchased today.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
Let's find Yaya's ebook.
Yaya is grown in such leaps and bounds. I'm so proud of you.
Let's blast her book out here. Right, fast. Reg, I'm gonna send you the link in a minute. Give me a second. There it goes. I don't know how to copy this whole thing, yeah. Let's see. I wasn't prepared for her to be on. I should have been. There it goes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm gonna have to order your book.
I have it.
She could get two orders from the Mayans.
Well, then buy mine. Her name is Abria Yaya. She's on Facebook. She says, ain't nobody scared of her.
Oh, her mother.
Yeah. This is her ebook. Hold on, I'm trying to find it now. I just had it. I don't know where it went that fast.
Good Lord.
I don't know where it went that fast. I don't know where it went. Go on her page, Facebook page. She's Yaya.
I was gonna say, can she share it?
If you can, screenshot us a picture, y'all. So trying to get this link. I'm trusting y'all, it's a good show. I'm gonna put this link in the chat. See, you can come on if you want to. No, all discriminants against you. Discriminate.
Well, we don't discriminate.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, hold on. I'm coming, Reg. Hey, man, I want to say to you, thank you for what you're doing for RCC, man, out there in Uganda. Number one, son, it's okay, y'all. Just go to the page. Hey, my Grimes. Making sure that when AC and PV get out there and everybody else, you have pretty much cleared the way for them. So, man, thank you for that, Reg. Real talk. All right, let me find. Reggie says, I have a problem listening to someone telling me something that I already know. However, they want to continue to release what they are saying just because they're in a position to do so. Then when you cut them off, they become upset, saying that you never listen. I don't have that problem cutting them off, Reg. Get 5 minutes with me, sir.
In those instances, people are trying to stress something they feel you didn't hear. I think that's the case. And you saying, I know what you're talking about. I understand what you're saying.
All right, Reg, I just sent you the link on your, actually, I put it on your comment. All right. So you said, it is my pleasure to do, yeah, thank you, son. You said that you have trouble listening to people who lie.
Right.
And then you said something else that I didn't hear because I'm trying to get live. That I'm trying to get Yaya on.
Oh.
And then you said something else.
If people giving advice or just and talking in general, but what they're saying and how they're living don't match up for me, then I don't have very much. I'm not listening.
What I've seen more than anything, and I watch very closely is based off how people view the person in front of them, and particularly their authority, determines how effectively they listen. I'm talking in terms of a pastor or an elder, and this is all perception. You know, there are married people who listen more to deitized people opposed to their spouse.
Right.
That's a no-no.
Definitely.
Your spouse should be the number one voice that you pay attention to.
No.
It shouldn't.
No.
Who should be the number one voice you pay attention to?
I'm listening to God first.
I'm talking about human.
Oh, okay.
I ain't talking about no God. I mean that's but that's not what happens.
Right.
That's not what happens. We tend to listen to people who we like, particularly if they listen to us.
I get the reciprocation.
It's reciprocation.
Yeah.
And sometimes reciprocation is not good because you're not talking about nothing. But because it's, you know, a lot of times people want somebody to accept. Well, one of the things I'm learning in regards to relationship, if a person doesn't challenge you, you can't say you love me. I can't sit comfortable and let you sit in that nonsense and just don't say nothing. Some people take that the wrong way. Like, why you always got something to say? Now, sometimes it is just something to say, but you should be able to accept critique from somebody you claim to love and that claims to love you without it upsetting you all the time. Reggie said, what Beamer said? Click the link that Al sent to you to get on. Beamer, you click it. You come on. But we have a hard time doing that because it hasn't been taught.
Right. Yeah.
We have terrible models of it.
And I'm gonna say human nature, who is just it's not comfortable.
Nobody likes it.
Yeah, nobody is comfortable.
Somebody say they do like it. Yeah, that's whatever. But you're not supposed anything that's to me that is geared for helping you doesn't feel good.
Correct. Right. It's uncomfortable.
It's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But there's reasoning behind why we listen the way we do, and we don't spend enough time with ourselves to uncover it so that we can we can learn what it is that's causing it and now put strategies in place to do something about it. We don't do that. We sit back and we recruit some knuckleheads and we call it our circle. And all of a sudden, there's no progress.
Yeah.
But you never point the finger at you.
Yeah.
And it could be something as simple as the way we listen. It could be that simple because a lot of us would rather talk than listen. And I learned this as well, probably about 2 years ago. Sometimes things are not going well in our lives because when we pray, we don't ever listen. We're always talking.
Yeah.
Well, God sitting there like, okay, I got all the time in the world.
Literally.
I mean,
yeah.
It is through listening that you learn stuff. It is through listening that you really get to discover who the other person is.
Yeah.
So I uncovered an article, as usual, it's a whole bunch of stuff here. What causes a terrible listener? That's one. This is your website. Why do we listen the way we do? The other one is, should we listen more than we speak? And then this one is, does childhood trauma affect how we listen? It's amazing what some of the stuff that we've gone through in our younger life that have gone unresolved, that is right now playing a role in a lot of stuff that we do. And we don't even know that that's the reason.
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and I was like, we are put in a position that we can pave the way for our grandchildren, but we end up not resolving a lot of issues in our lives, and they end up fighting stuff that they don't even know that they fighting.
Right.
Because it's not their fight.
Right.
So the fight that's the things that they're supposed to fight, they have to put that in the back burner because now they're dealing with something that you should have dealt with and we don't. And this, did Yaya put something up?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. And they don't. All right. Y'all ain't doing nothing. Go subscribe to our YouTube page. The link is up, Reg, if you want to come on. So we're going to dive into this article. We're going to do the one that is, why do we listen the way we do? The number one thing that it says is there are psychological factors that cause us to listen how we do. And one of those factors I mentioned a minute ago is trauma. I did that wrong, but it's up there now. Psychological factors. What are some of the psychological factors that cause us to listen the way we do? It says cognitive load. If our mind is overloaded with stress, with multitasking, with everything that we're not supposed to be doing, we tend to listen less effectively. And that's what we're trying to get at. We're trying to get at being an effective listener, to actually get everything you can out of what that person is saying. The next thing is,
for how long?
What are you talking about?
You said take time to listen.
5 minutes.
Oh, they get 5. Okay.
You get 5 minutes from me. After that, I've already figured out whether I'm gonna continue to listen or not.
Or is it just rhetoric?
I mean, if you can't get your point across in 5 minutes, bias and assumptions. I like this one. These are some of the psychological factors that contribute to us not being effective listeners. I'm gonna put this up as a banner. It's easy to put it as a comment because you can put the whole thing up. All right. Bias and assumptions. We filter what we hear based on past experiences, expectations, or stereotypes. I just said that a minute ago in regards to people we view in authority.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of, whoever we see as an authoritative figure, we give them more of our ear than we give somebody who we claim to love. The next one is emotional state, anxiety. Hold on, let me put it up before I read it. Anxiety, anger, or excitement can make us listen selectively or distort what we hear. Let's start right there. Have you ever heard something and repeated it back to somebody and it's not what you thought it's not what was said?
Mm-hmm.
I used to do that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course I can come back at it, but I'm not. It doesn't make sense. And I figured out why. It's because at a certain point when that person was talking, I turned you off.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to you, but I'm really not hearing you. And so my mind is putting words in places that it doesn't need to go because I'm not listening to you anymore. And so when I'm asked to, reciprocate or say back to you what it is you said, I say the words my mind placed in place of what's, and a lot of us don't know we doing that. A lot of us don't know you can say something to somebody and you can ask them immediately after you've said it to them, what they've said, and they'll tell you something. Reggie said the link is trying to get me to join now. It is 4:30 a.m. here in Uganda. I mean, I'm willing to come on your show to be interviewed and to give true and honest answer. You can come on the show and do whatever you want. You should be sleeping.
Hello, 4:30 a.m.
But that's your choice, right?
Or interceding.
That's your choice, man. Yeah, we were on the distortion, how a lot of us hear distortedly. And I think the key for me was journaling, writing stuff down, going back and reading it, and then being honest with myself about what it was that I was having, I was struggling with. A lot of us are not honest with ourselves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And without the honesty part, what's up, Keish? It's just not going to work. It's just not going to work. We'll sit there and blame everybody else around us, besides blaming ourselves for a lot of stuff that's your fault.
Yeah.
It starts with you. I tell my wife all the time, when people, how do I say it? If you change the way you hear, you can change how you feel about people. If you hear people from a different frequency, they can piss you off, but only for so long. Here's an example of what I'm talking about. Sometimes there's somebody that they piss you off. You don't like being around them. They pissed you off, you don't want to be around them. It doesn't matter what comes out that person's mouth. It's going to piss you off. But if you change the way you hear them,
I will have to admit that works.
If you change the way you hear them,
I have to admit
you'll receive them different.
Yes.
I mean, it works.
Yeah, it works.
Not hearing them out of toleration.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Really listening to them. And that means you got to get past that emotional barrier that's set up.
Right.
Based off what happened before. See, a lot of us live back there. We live in the past. We don't live now. And most of the stuff that we encounter is based off how we felt about an individual, not how we feel about them.
Right.
All it takes is for somebody to do something bad to you, and all of a sudden, especially with this new culture of blocking people, and it's just nonsense.
It is. Yeah.
We don't have the luxury of doing that.
No.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, just think I can't use my life because my life is crazy. But I just think, I'm going to talk about me, of the opportunities that have been given me, had not these persons given them to me, and I'm talking about you in general. Had you shut the door on me and said, hey, Alfred, I'm tired, I don't know where the hell I'd be at. I'd be at for real. I don't know. But you heard from God and you waited me out and it worked out. Once again, listen, what is God saying to you? What has God said to you individually that you have to put it up on the shelf somewhere? Like, man, that's never going to happen. And he's like, my promises is yes and amen. And we start to hear the negativity. I heard something today that was so powerful. It said, stop watching the news for a week and watch how your hearing changes. I was like, I don't watch the news anyway.
Right.
But if you listen to the news, like, I don't know how it works in other states, but here in Virginia, from the time it comes on to 7:00, it's the same thing.
It's surreal. It's repeated
every half an hour. I sat up one morning and watched it. And then 7:00, they do it again. It's different.
It's updated.
Well, they give you two different people. And they do it again for another 2 hours. And it's rapid. It's all day long. And you don't even understand. You're being brainwashed. Yeah. Next thing you know, you talk, man, girl, you talking like you was there. It was on the news.
Oh, God.
All right. I forgot to say, head clap person.
Oh, no.
These are called, the other ones is, the other ones. Those were psychological factors. These are social and cultural influences. This is, I ain't gonna say it. She said I say it too much every week.
This is good.
I ain't saying it. Your upbringing and communication norms. Some cultures emphasize active listening while others value assertiveness. And some don't, none of it.
Right.
The thing is, we can't blame nobody for it because they were brought up not being taught that this is something that they should learn to be good at.
Mm.
Listening is something that's not talked about until somebody has a problem with you. The conversation of listening is never talked about, Carmen, in a positive setting. When I say in a positive setting, I'm saying, thanks for listening to me. No, we're always told we're bad listeners when something that was supposed to get done doesn't get done.
Oh, you're not listening to me.
No.
I asked you to wash the dishes and you didn't hear me.
You must have heard me.
Hear me. Yeah. Okay. I got you. Uh-huh.
But never is it complimented when something good is done.
It's true. It's true. We take it for granted.
We're not taught.
Right.
So basically what we're doing is what was done to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you make your normal now? How do you make complimenting somebody on something as simple as listening? That will make them go, I'm going to listen more. It's not applauded. But the only thing we hear about listening, go ahead.
No, I'm listening.
The only thing we hear about listening is the negativity. You never listen to me. I don't know why I'm talking. And in the person's mind, it was like, well, what are you still talking for? It's the simplistic things, family, that are effective.
Yeah.
That we don't pay attention to.
And we put up walls. And when you said family, it made me think of how we will pay more attention to people in the street,
strangers,
than you do your family.
We're more critical
because we're gauging them off of past instances.
That's
right.
You have
she don't never listen. He don't never listen. So I'm not wasting my breath.
That's right. Your experiences with them,
right, have
caused you to now create, like you said, boundaries.
That's where that cultural.
That's part of the culture. Yeah. I like how they call it a communication norm.
Right, because
so
it
now
is. Right.
We got to do better out there, family. We got to do better. There's another one. This is a really live show.
Oh, really? Really? Wasn't that my wife and kids?
Social conditioning. We may listen differently depending on authority, gender norms, or social roles. How we view people determines how we listen. How do you put yourself in a position that your listening is neutral? You give everybody the same amount of time. I do it all the time. I give you 3 good minutes. The other 2 minutes, I'm working on an escape plan. I'm telling you for real. I'm being for real.
An escape plan.
I am.
Well, yeah.
Without being rude. Because you're wasting my time.
Because they're talking about in a circle.
You talking a bunch of crap, man.
Yeah.
Now you got people, and I want y'all to hear this. You got people who repeat themselves all the time. You got to ask yourself, why does that bother you?
That bothers me.
Why?
For people to repeat? Because I don't like to repeat.
So because of how you don't like something,
yeah,
you're
I don't
imposing that
I guess
on them.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good.
My.
You might be the only ear they got that day.
You know what? But I tend to.
First of all, I don't know what.
Well, you're getting ready to.
We didn't even get into that. You tend to what?
I tend to. I've done it for a while, but I listen. I listen to what's being said, and in the beginning, I might be a knee jerk reaction, like what they say that for. But then I hear them. Like I told you, the instance, we in a meeting with like 400 people on a call, and this woman randomly says, I had something I needed to add, I needed to say.
Did that bother you?
It was like, it was so
Did it bother you?
It bothered me because she sounded so ignorant.
That's why it bothered you?
Not just ignorant, it was so inappropriate, out of place. Could have been
because she interrupted the meeting?
It wasn't an interruption, it was the end of the meeting. So it wasn't like she was infringing type of a, but it was just.
Could you have excused yourself at that point? What could you have done to better?
No, what happened was she continued to talk, and I heard her. What she was saying, it was her birthday.
And we don't want to comment, but we don't want to hear what she had to say.
But no, that's all that I'm saying, is that when I heard the reason why she said what she said in the middle of a meeting with 400 and something people on the call, and none of them knew her except the people from my team, it was inappropriate the way she did it, and I thought it was stupid. But then when I heard what she said, then I empathized and I understood what she was looking for.
But once again, I want to ask you, do you remember why it irritated you so much?
Yeah, because she's just.
Do you have any history with her?
Working with her? Yes.
Has she irritated you before?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You ever been in a setting where people just ask? They say they know stupid questions. Yes, there is. When 5 other people ahead of you ask the same question, and you come behind them and ask the same question.
Reggie, what up, Al? Reggie, you a funny dude. Reggie said, someone repeatedly saying the same thing to you was like, you slow us up. I heard you the first time. Why are you going over this again? So here's me, because I go through this all day. They didn't hear what they said.
She heard herself.
That's why it irritates you.
She heard herself. She knew what she was doing.
You don't know that.
Why I say she knew what she was doing?
You don't know that.
She was looking for something and she got it. She got it.
But
so I empathized, and I felt bad that I felt that way, because there was somebody seeking something, a void. She needed that void filled. And by getting that void filled was her speaking out and getting the population to applaud her, to cheer for her. So that's what. So that's part of communication. I listened after I was pissed. And then I said, I empathized. And I was like, oh, God, forgive me. Because that wasn't right, feeling the way I did in the beginning.
So the history that you got with this woman was not a contributing factor into the fact that what she was saying was irritating you? Because she's irritated you.
I already said that she irritated me before. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right.
But I had
So what can you put in place so that won't happen again?
I now understand her since that instance that was just last week. I hear her differently because of knowing her story. I understand why she speaks the way she does.
So you're hearing now from a place of empathy.
I empathize.
Is that a good thing?
It's okay for right
because
now.
Because when you, I want you to. I'm not targeting you.
No, I don't.
But when you hear from that point,
mm-hmm.
it can go left.
No,
yes, it can.
What I'm
because you're hearing
to do,
from an emotional state.
What I'm trying to do now is
no, you just told me.
No, because it's not, because I saw her for what it was. I heard her. So now I'm more of an encourager.
Yeah, but it can go left because it's emotional listening. It's not neutral listening. You're listening from a place of empathy. So if she says something that irritates you, you're going to go back to irritation.
No, I won't let her irritate me. I put that in place.
Okay.
Yeah, that I won't.
Let me know how it works out. And I'm going to cut you short when you start talking about it.
No, because
I don't want to hear.
You never heard me talk about her.
You just talked about it to me the other day for 30 minutes.
That was after the meeting. But I told you how I had to repent about it. Because
so tell me I never heard you talk about it.
Prior to that, you ain't never heard me talk about her dumb questions. No.
I probably haven't.
Right.
I probably have it and I haven't. No. If you get that.
Whatever.
You know what I mean? What I'm trying to say is it's when you listen from a place of emotionalism, it's very easy for it to go left because it can be something like you say, I'm listening from a place of empathy. All right. When that thing runs out,
what runs out?
When your empathy gets a little exhausted, she's going to sound like she's whining. I'm trying to tell you something.
I'm not dealing with. I've dealt with the public on so many different levels and so many different areas that I put things in place so that don't get to me. Especially when I hear you from it and I see you in a different way, then I place you. And I act accordingly.
Okay.
Yeah, I make it a business of doing that because prior I would wear your worries. I would carry that stuff, and that's not healthy.
All right, relational dynamics. We listen better to people we respect or care about, while we might dismiss those we don't.
Say that again.
We listen better to people we respect or care about, while we might dismiss those we don't.
Oh, true.
I call it status.
It's a gauge.
It's how we gauge people. I remember having a conversation with a guy. He had. Go ahead, you ready to say something?
No,
he was working. They were feeding the homeless, the less fortunate, and there was a gentleman who decided that what he was serving he didn't want, and he spazzed out on the guy. Mm-hmm. Right there, because of his situation. Mm-hmm. He was supposed to take what you got.
Yeah,
like he doesn't have choices anymore.
Right.
He was like, nah. So why did you get upset? Because he decided not to take what you had.
Right. He has the right. Yeah.
When did his situation remove his
that he's not valid,
his ability to choose?
Right. Yeah.
And you got upset because of your position.
Yeah. I'm giving you.
Giving you. There you go.
And you don't even want to.
You don't even want to take it.
And take what I got.
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be helping this guy.
Yeah. You going home.
It's our minds.
Yeah.
It's our minds is screwed up.
Yeah.
So now everybody that comes behind him is going to suffer.
Yes.
Because you didn't resolve that.
That's true.
Now you're giving out portions. It happens. We listen better to people we respect or care about.
Yeah.
I think that's 100% true.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're going to put this section is called personal habits and experiences. We're going to slow tonight with your ungrateful. You know what I'm saying, right? Hey, I went back and forth with this guy for a solid 30 minutes because he could not grasp the fact that he was wrong.
Yeah. They have choices. Yeah, of course they have choices.
I came to help.
You came to serve them. How you come to serve the homeless and now you going to tell them that they got limits?
I came to help.
Yeah.
And you going to tell me you don't want my help?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you can't.
Check yourself, son.
Yeah, you can't invoke you on someone else. If they don't want it, they don't want it.
But if that person was not in his situation, would you have done that? Would you have done that? These people, I call them less fortunate. I hate the word homeless. I don't like it.
Or transient.
Because some of them have chosen to be in that position based off the conditions in some of the facilities that they've asked to go in. And when you are I don't care where you volunteer at, dude, you don't have a right to go in there being judgmental.
No.
You don't have a right because some people are going to say something that might rub you the wrong. You're a help.
Yeah, literally.
You came to help. Oh. Somebody said something. Mima said, that's because people say beggars can't be choosy. I hate that statement.
Yeah.
That's a good way of looking at it.
It's true. But they ain't begging.
Why would you call that dude a beggar? A beggar when...
Right. He ain't on the corner with the sign. He's in there to be served. Yeah.
They were asked to come in so that we could serve them.
Yeah, they actually signed up to come in. Yeah. And we're there to serve.
I tell people all the time, check your heart, man. Check the reason why you're doing it.
Yeah. Are you checking off an assignment?
You feel me? I remember one time.
Oh, I know what you're gonna say.
They was like, yo, you need a certain amount of hours. We was like, man, we can give you hours.
Wait a minute. And the other person, he was counting. How many people he brought to the Lord.
Yeah, that was...
How many people he discipled?
I didn't know. I didn't know we were supposed to do
that. I just...
That was good to know.
I mean, numbers are good in some instances, but then when does the...
Check your motives.
Yeah, what are we doing? Are we trying to
check your motives?
Make a quota?
Check your motives.
I can't do that.
All right, so this one is listening style. Some people are more empathetic listeners, while others are task orientated. They focus on the solution.
At work, that's me.
I've gotten out of that.
I'm like, come on, give me the answer.
So here's an example. So I forgot what we was talking about. And I think I kind of pissed the dude off with my okays.
Oh, God.
Don't solicit an opinion from me that you want to shoot down. We're not going that route. We're not going that route. Okay.
Yeah.
Why is okay not good enough?
Right, because I gave you an answer. I gave you a solution, and you shot it down. I don't have anything else.
I'm not going to give you. I'm not going to give you the avenue to shoot it down.
And then some is. Oh, okay. In some instances, I may go in with another suggestion, just to see. But if you keep shooting me down, I mean, how many times am I supposed to run into that wall?
Even if you don't shoot me down, I heard you. I did not give you a reason to think that I didn't hear you. So my question to a lot of people is, what type of response do you need from somebody to let you know that you've been heard?
Okay. I need eye contact. I need to see that you're engaged.
What happens when you can't get that?
When I can't, then I don't feel like I'm not.
That's in your head. That's not.
Why is that in my head?
Because that person can have a different listening way.
Okay, but then if it's a reciprocal conversation, how? And I'm looking now for a response, and you give me nothing.
How does he know or she knows that's what you need? It's not normal. It's not a normal thing, Combs. It's your thing.
Unless I say,
there you go.
Unless I say, I need to get this out. I don't need a response, or I need to say this to you, and I need to hear what you got to say about what I have to say.
Okay. How often do you go in a conversation and you say that?
It depends on what I'm talking about.
That's not a normal type of a thing you say.
That's what I'm saying. It depends on the conversation, what we're talking about.
It's not how you.
If I'm talking to you and I want you to hear my heart, if I need to have a heart to heart,
we're talking in general.
Well, I'm just saying, I only got me.
But you just said that you need to have somebody look at you, and what happens if they have not been taught that is something that needs to be done in a conversation? That does not mean that they don't hear you, but because of what you need from them, you can instantly get turned off because you thinking they're not part of the conversation.
I think I pay attention to body language, so they may not, because I remember.
Don't switch gears.
No. You used to say you didn't. Don't
bring me into this.
But I'm saying,
don't bring me into this.
Listen.
No, because you're losing the focus of what we're trying to talk about.
I'm not.
Yes, you are, Carmen. I said to you, what type of response do you need from people so that you can think they're listening?
Well, like I said, that's the basis of it, but I pay attention to body language. If I see that they're in a posture that they are listening to me, and going to give me a response, whether it's honest or not, but they're going to give me a response, whether they're looking at me or not. If their posture is saying that they're fully engaged into what I'm saying, then it's fine.
Okay. I'm laughing because it goes against everything you just said.
No, it's variables with me.
Whatever.
I'm just a studier of people and their body languages. I prefer that people give me eye contact when we're talking, because I think that people tend to be more honest. I would like
because someone is not looking at you, that gives you the perception that they might not be honest.
No, that they're not listening.
You got to understand that there are a variety of listening ways.
Definitely.
And it doesn't, how you want the response that you're looking for. Mm-hmm. Just because you don't get it does not mean what you think that means.
Right.
It's flexibility.
Right.
So if I'm talking to somebody and they got their head down or they moving around, it doesn't bother me. Because I'm going to finish saying what I have to say. Mm-hmm. Now, then I'm going to ask, did you understand what I said? If they tell me that they have, it eliminates me from thinking they didn't hear me.
Right. Because
so anything that they did in the midst of me talking doesn't matter.
Because they heard you.
But we get turned off by somebody's not staring at me. Mm-hmm. Not staring, but somebody's not looking at me. Somebody's not giving me the response I need.
Right.
That's a you thing. That's not a them thing.
Right. Yeah.
Somebody said something. First lady, your hair is fire. That's Poochie.
Oh, thanks.
All right. The next one is past. Hold on, I gotta get rid of this one first. Oh. I'm getting sleepy.
I was going to say.
Past experiences. If we've been ignored or misunderstood, we may develop habits of tuning out or dominating conversations.
Yes.
95% of us have not gotten rid of so much stuff in our past that we can't deal with the now because we're always thinking of what happened.
Sure. Guilty.
How do you... I'm not pointing no fingers at you.
I didn't say you were.
How do we get past that? What... And I'm not asking for answers. I'm just giving questions. What do you need? What do you need to do so that you're better at not allowing that to happen? We got to learn to start journaling, people. We got to start writing.
Implement some strategies. I talk. I have those inner conversations and reflecting, and yeah, I have those inner conversations. Okay, today. I think you need to reel it back and say less. Listen more. Say less. And it's actually been working.
Where?
Nigga. You did not.
I'm not negating people's ability to recollect.
Right, but writing it down does mean a lot.
Even if you use your phone to record.
Yeah.
And particularly in situations where you find you got warm.
Oh, yeah.
You find yourself that you have gotten a little warm.
Mm-hmm.
You might want to write some things down or record yourself and try to go back and remember what is it that happened that got me like that. Because 9 times out of 10, it's something about you that got you like that, not about the other person.
Right.
Because they don't know.
Right.
They don't know. All right. This is what you and I was kind of alluding to. I didn't know this was in here. I gotta go ahead and clean this thing out. Self-perception. If we see ourselves as the expert in the situation, we might listen less and talk more. Know-it-alls. Somebody say something, that ain't true. Hey, that's not true in their life.
Right. How you gonna tell them
that ain't true?
That ain't true.
This is their life. This is what happened in their life. Can you sit still long enough and listen to somebody without filters going off in your head to now almost prejudge what this person is and saying? Like, I mean, come on, man.
Yeah. We're gonna do better.
This is practical stuff.
It is.
Practical stuff that can help you become a better listener. It's in your listening that you learn, not your talking.
Right.
Some of us can't shut up for nothing because we know everything.
For nothing?
Yeah, for nothing. We know everything. It's crazy. Environmental factors. No noise and distractions, phones, background noise, or multitasking reduce our ability to focus.
Yes.
We're going to run through these because I'm getting a little tired myself. Medium of communication. We listen differently in person, over the phone, or through text-based communication. Talking about the 3 different areas. How you listen. I think we listen better in person.
I do.
I hate the telephone. I mean, if you call me and you're not talking about nothing, you're going bye-bye.
What Mom said?
Did Mother say something?
Sometimes you can say something to some in a text and they read it with an attitude and now they angry.
Mima, that puzzles me, Mima. That puzzles me. Unless you got that thing written in all capitals, I don't see how somebody can write something in a text and you can get upset about it. How can you perceive what was said through a text? How? And it happens all the time.
It does.
How?
I gather.
Has that ever happened to you that you read a text and it upset you?
My text and upset me? No. Well,
hey, Sean.
It depends on who the person is.
So based off the person
and the conversation that's going on.
So based off the person and the conversation that's going on,
yeah,
you can
I'm
literally
basing
get
it
upset.
I'm basing it off their past. I'm basing it
There
off of
you
their
go.
past. Yeah. On
Why?
a past conversation.
Why can't
their
you give them the benefit
behaviors.
of the doubt that this might go different?
I tried. I'm being honest. I tried.
Oh, I'm not.
Yeah.
Once again, the reason I'm asking you these questions is because you're giving me responses that were in this magazine, not all of them, and these responses are really almost how can I say it? I forgot how I said it, but they're not result driven. Like,
right. Yeah.
how do I not let that happen again?
Right.
This is what we're after. We're not after anything else but effectiveness.
Right.
How do I become a more effective
because it's
listener?
really not effective. Yeah, nothing is being accomplished. You got an attitude for what?
How did you get an attitude over text?
That's what I'm just saying. Yeah.
Over text message. Guess what? You can close your phone and put it down.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I don't get those kind of texts. I'm talking about
On a phone call.
Yeah, no.
You can hang your phone up and put it down.
That's true.
Yourself, I'm going to say it correctly. Your peace is worth more than trying to make sense to somebody who you know it's going to be quite difficult to do that.
That's true.
And you end up getting more and more. Sean said the same thing. Carmen, your hair looks fire.
Thank you.
You're going to get more and more upset trying to make sense to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And when you might really need to hear that person, you'll never hear them.
True, because you've already built up the wall.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You'll never hear them. You don't want to put yourself in a position where, like I said, I don't think we have the luxury of not listening to everybody. I don't think you got to listen to them long because they're going to tell you. Like, say, for instance, here's me. If I have a conversation with somebody that the conversation just went totally left, they don't know that I feel that way about the conversation going totally left. Because when I leave from around, I'm getting very good at this. They're not going to know that I'm leaving because I don't want to hear them. Okay. That conversation we had is not going to get in the way if I got to talk to them again. 95% of us is going to allow what just happened to get in the way when we get around that person again.
You're preparing yourself.
And your breakthrough could be in their mouth.
Yeah.
And because the way God works like this, because of the way we feel about that person, we'll sit back and go, I don't want to hear that person. And they ain't said, you ain't seen them in weeks.
And they ain't said nothing yet.
You haven't seen them in weeks.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. But you said, you told that story.
If you type all capitals, they think y'all yelling at them. Some people just type that way. You yell at me, ma.
I've typed that way, but I forgot I had the caps thing on, the shift key on.
I mean, can we take what happened between you and an individual in the past and put it to the side so that what's happening right now can be given attention?
True, we can.
You got to practice it.
Yeah.
That's the biggest
self-awareness.
Number one. And that's another thing right there.
Yeah.
You have to be aware that you're doing that.
Yeah.
It's not hard to tell.
Oh, if you're in.
Because you'll go recruit.
I don't recruit anybody.
Man, the average person, not saying you per se, the average person will go to recruit to get somebody else to dislike somebody that they dislike.
No.
The average person to do it. And they'll do it so subtly, they don't even know they're doing it. They don't know they're doing it.
Yeah. Because that's their norm.
It's what I do.
Yeah.
And when you confront them with it, they'll tell you that's not what they're doing. Immediately, I don't do that. Whenever you say that, that's a flare.
It's a flare.
It's a flare.
It is.
Self-awareness. That's right. You got to know you're doing it. How? What do I have in place to alert me that that's what I'm doing?
Yes.
What's in place?
What's in place? Are you asking me, or are you
No,
just making a
saying
statement?
what's in place.
Okay.
I don't ask you a lot of questions. That's true and very, very wrong. One of the things I do, and I'm getting really good at this, is pause.
I'm learning.
Nothing requires my immediate response. Now, I'm not going to sit there for a whole minute, but you got a good 10 seconds, 5 to 10 seconds, and I'm going to tell you something. What you was about to say won't come out your mouth.
Yeah.
Number one, you got to value people.
Yeah.
The only way you can value them is see them past their past.
True.
Your history with that person is the reason you don't listen to them.
True.
A person that has no history with you, you don't have a reason not to listen to them.
True. Yeah.
But a person you got history with, immediately a negative event will cause you not to hear them. I'm talking about your spouse. They don't deserve that.
No.
How do I get past that? What do I need to do to make sure that I'm in a position that whatever it is that I have against them, I get it out?
Yeah.
So that our conversations are not filtered by what happened.
Right. Yeah.
It's important.
It is.
You know, one of the questions that was asked, we went to a marriage seminar, I'll never forget it. Dr. Dave said, "What are you saving yourself for?" What am I saying? If there's something that's going on between you and your spouse, why is it that you're not talking about it to get it out the way? Yeah. Because what are you saving it for?
Like this, your arsenal.
You understand what I'm saying?
I got this for later.
Because what happens is now all of a sudden you're not intimate, you're not talking. What are you saving yourself for?
Right. You matter. Yeah, and how you feel about whatever it is, it needs to come out.
I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
We gotta be so, how can I say? It's almost like sold out.
Yeah.
This is how I feel.
Yeah.
Okay. If the person decides, how can I say this? So you say to somebody what you would like for them to do. All right. The person decides that that's not something they don't want to do. That doesn't mean they don't like you.
Right.
I think it would be appropriate for you to ask them, why did you do that? Because I told you X, Y, Z. You got to accept their answer. You have to accept their answer. Okay, let's move on. Change how you feel about that. Because if you don't, it's going to carry over. And guess what's going to happen? You're not going to listen to them.
Yeah.
You're not going to hear them. Back to the question. What are you saving yourself for? What are you, like, okay, I'm not doing this. What you going to do it out there somewhere? I'm being serious. Like, come on. What the?
Oh, you just go.
Where? You got another place to do it at? And we don't. Sean said, saving built up anger is not healthy. But yeah, like, excuse me, we don't ask ourselves enough serious questions so that this foolishness that we get ourselves wrapped up in goes out the door. Right. 90% of this stuff is foolishness. Yeah. It's full. We're grown. Hold on a second. Let's sit down and have a grown conversation. It doesn't mean if I disagree that I dislike you.
Right. I look at you differently.
But if we're married and I respect you, I need to be able to sit there for 5 minutes and not say a word. You just listen. Vice versa. Okay. If there's something that I disagree with, don't get all, well, that's what you should be saving. Save that drama for somebody else. But we don't. Yeah. The people we claim to love are the ones we're the most harsh on, and the ones we listen to the less. And then we wonder why things are not working out.
Right.
Effective listening.
Mm-hmm.
The end of that article says, we listen based on a combination of internal mindsets, learned behaviors, and external conditions. How can we change that? So that, what happened?
There was a bottom part.
Yeah, it's a question.
Oh.
Yeah. You just want to be as effective as you can, as efficient as you can. And the only way you're going to do that is if you're aware, if you're doing stuff that stagnates it.
Yeah. Yeah.
My thing is journaling. Some people, I don't know. I don't know how. But the way things is out here now, I don't know how you can remember nothing. It's just too much going on. Every second, it requires you to be doing something.
It's true.
I got sticky notes all over my office.
I have you in the daggone journaling. Like you said, I got Post-its all over my desk. I even have a napkin that I started
I'm trying to tell you,
it.
Man.
And I said, I got paper right here.
You are responsible for you.
Yeah.
Nobody else. It's nobody else's job to maintain you. But you got to be aware of some of the stuff you do, man.
Yeah.
And a lot of us are terrible listeners.
Yeah.
Terrible. But we want everybody to listen to us.
Yeah, it's true.
How can you ask for something that you're not giving?
You're not willing to give. You're not
working on it.
Put yourself in a position.
You're not working on it.
To receive the reciprocation.
You don't put enough time into it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Every relationship that we have requires us to be an active participant.
Right.
Okay. What's wrong with saying, man, that's my bad. I will do better.
Right.
And when you say to somebody you'll do better, you should be keeping a record to make sure that you're putting forth some kind of effort.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to hear from them, well, last time. But one of the things I've noticed is when you say that you want to do better, there's never too many compliments when you do a good job. And that's a problem for somebody who looks for that. It's a problem.
It is.
Because the first thing you'll say is when something they did was wrong. But what's wrong with the fact that, why can't you say what they did was right? Hey, man, since our last conversation,
I see you heard me.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That makes them want to listen more.
That's true.
Opposed to you waiting for them not to listen. That makes them want to listen less.
Yeah.
Good one. Keisha, you're responsible for you. Nobody responsible for you.
Right.
You know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Well, you should.
I hope.
We're going to stay on communication for a while. I was hoping Reggie was going to come on. He's 4:30 in the morning somewhere. He's bugging. He needs to be asleep.
Honestly.
Yeah. But our show is not a question and answer show where we question people. If you do come on, we want to hear your experience on what it is that you're getting better at. Or sometimes some of the stuff that you're struggling with, you don't even know it.
You don't recognize it as right because you don't see that you keep running into the same.
You don't see it.
Yeah.
And if this is a situation that you keep encountering, it ain't everybody else.
Yeah. If you keep getting the same responses
from different people,
then it's time to really do some.
You gotta do some introspection. Yeah, to go, definitely. Wait a minute. Everybody keeps saying the same thing.
It ain't them.
It can't be everybody. It can't be. If it is, you might want to get off the planet Earth.
Oh, Lord, not Earth.
Yeah, Earth, because humans are everywhere.
It might be.
I don't know who's up there. Yeah, let's just do better at policing ourselves and understanding that it all starts with us.
Yeah. Every
bit of it starts with us, man. And you can do better without nobody even knowing what you're working on.
True.
But if your spouse sees you putting forth the effort, Great job, man. I really appreciate that. What does it hurt?
Right.
Once again, what are you saving yourself for?
Yeah.
Your next relationship? Then you might as well get on to it right now.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to bed. I ain't take a nap again today.
Was that my fault?
No, you went to the store.
Okay.
I was just upstairs thinking of Uncle June. You know, praying I ain't got to do it. Anyway. Excuse me, y'all. This is Better for the Day. And we're going to stay on communication for a while. When you get a chance, join our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
It's Better for the Day on YouTube. I thought I had it up here. I don't think I do. Let's see if I have it.
I shared it on the Facebook.
Here's a go. That's our link right there. Click on it. I don't know if you can click on it from there, but if you copy it to your phone or whatever, you can go and join our YouTube page and become a YouTuber. I hope it was a good show tonight. I was a little tired. Hope it didn't convey in our show. But we'll see you guys next week. I don't know. Yeah, we should be around next week.
Yeah, we
leave
back
Friday,
home.
right?
We leave Friday.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So enjoy the rest of your evening. Better for the Day. We're out. Peace.
Peace.